Start off removing the dash on an 85 Fiero GT. You're going to remove these 4 bolts here. These are T15 corkscrews, however you call it, I forget. But you got those 4 bolts, so let's get those off. So you're going to have 4 bolts underneath. There's one in here, and there's one in here. This one you don't have to worry about because it kind of just falls through. So you got 4, 2 on each side, and those are 7mm. Bottom cluster is going to come off like this. Little dirty, has been sitting on there probably since day 1, and then we're going to take this cluster off like this. And now we have an exposed dash. Let's switch back to our buddy here. We got one, which I got to get a wrench for that one, I think. I don't know, it's hard to see with the light. We got 1, 2, 3. We have that bottom one I spoke about earlier. And then we have the other one on the other side, and that back cluster section will come off. You take those out, and after a little bit of frustration, this piece should come right off. We're going to move on to the middle, which is always my favorite part. We're going to reach back here with the flathead. We're going to take out this little staple and remove the shifter. Next, we're going to remove the ashtrays. Which why it has 2, I have no idea. I use them though. And then we're going to undo these 4 bolts. I believe these are a 7mm. We have those 4 removed. This should just pop up pretty easily. Hard to do with one hand, but now we have that open. And now, remove my mask. We are going to take off these 4 bolts. And why there's a Chevy radio in here, I have no idea, so don't ask me. To the wise, it's good to have one of these magnetic strips so you can kind of put the bolts you take out. You can put them in order so you know where they go when you put them back in. We're going to remove the bolts that go on here. I put a custom switch here, so I'm just going to unscrew that. You're going to remove the connection onto the back, and then you're going to do the same thing on this side. I removed the dimmer switch, and now I'm going to move on to the headlights after this. What's good about doing this process as far as taking the dash off is like pieces like this, you know, you can't really do much to them if they're not busted. But at the same time, you can go through here and you can just clean the crud away that's been sitting for years. Alrighty, so we're going to move on to these 2. Kind of a weird angle to have. But we have those 2 10mm bolts that need to come out. I recommend using a extension. I think this one's about 6-inch. But yes, those got to come out. Alright, then we have this one, and we have that one to take out. So the back of the dash cluster can be a little intimidating, being as it's kind of old and brittle, but you have this connection here, you have this connection here, and then you have one underneath over here that need to come out. After that battle has been won, now we have to take out this one, that one, and these 3 so far. I have those screws loosened up. I'm going to put it, oh damn it. I have those screws loosened up. I'm going to put it down into 2nd gear. And then this should pop right off like so. And she is messy. Of course, remember, all the way back in park. Now you want to remove all 8 of these screws here. Point frustration sets in, but take off the speaker covers. Take off that bolt. And that bolt, 7mm. Let's go. Ready? So after removing all of those middle pieces, we're going to come over here and we're going to remove the hood latch, which is 3 Phillips heads. Probably really stubborn. Mine was. And then we're going to come over here and undo this 10mm. Now, I forget if I already told you, but you take out those screws for the dash as well. Righty, in the final little part, once you get those bolts out of the bottom, 10mm on each side, then you have to undo the speakers. I personally chose to just snip them because I'll probably redo the wiring on this end anyways. And then you just pull it out.